Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Gandhe. We're here at EXCON 2023. Can we start off by understanding Dana's presence here at the show? What is your focus at the show? What are you showcasing to customers?
So Dana, as you know, is a global multinational represented across the world in 38 countries. In India also we are represented by all the business units of Dana, which are primarily into off-highway vehicles, commercial vehicles, light vehicles, and then what we call as a power technology group. And lately we have forayed big into the electrification area. So India represents all these business units, and each one of them is in the form either of a JV or wholly owned company. And obviously this is a construction equipment show. So our focus here is anything that's to do with construction equipment or related to construction equipment. So what you see in this display units here is either axles, which go into construction equipments, or hub motors, which drive the customer construction equipment, or we have new transmissions with twin motors and twin inverters. That is our latest product that's being displayed here, right? So we are trying to tell our customers that work with us to define what you want and let us then give you what you want, right? Rather than you basically deciding, because we are the experts at what we do and you are the experts at what you do. So the good news is that most of our customers are very well know Dana very well, and they appreciate the Dana, the technology as well as the development capability you bring to the table, right? And they know that when Dana commits to certain things, will deliver with the right quality, right performance at the right time. Now sometimes we may not agree on the development time, because every customer wants it yesterday, but most of the time they are willing to work with us and agree to a specific timeline. So our focus, since you asked here, is in these areas, and all the applications are displayed in this exhibition, whether it's forklifts, backhoe loaders, boom lifts, cranes, all those kind of equipments are currently utilizing our products. We're lucky to have one of our customers, JCB, invite us for inaugurating one of their products, which was just launched. Right?
Brilliant. Right. So as you said, since we're at EXCON, just tell us a little bit more about Dana's presence in the construction equipment and related application space in the Indian market. When I say tell us a little bit more, how many OE customers do you have? And if you can name them, that will be great. And what percentage of your overall India business comes from this particular space?
So I think it will be easier for me to tell you who is not our customer, because literally every commercial vehicle as well as construction equipment company is our customer. Whether it's Tata Motors, whether it's Ashok Leyland, whether it's Volvo Eicher, Mahindra, they are all our customers. Even the new electrification companies like Switch, ECA Mobility, JBM, they are also our customers. So I think apart from Olectra, who is not yet our customer, everybody else is our customer. And with Olectra also we are doing some development work. So I think from a construction equipment perspective, if you look at some of the companies like JCB, Tata Hitachi, they are all our customers, right? So pretty much everybody that's represented here, whether it's in India or globally, are our customers. In terms of, sorry, what was your second question?
What percent of your business comes from this?
So our business is divided. If I have, let's say 100% of our business in India, 40% of that is what we call as off-highway and commercial vehicle.
Right.
In this off-highway and commercial vehicle, we also have about, say, 20 to 24% is our construction equipment.
Okay.
The rest is material handling, mining, and agriculture. Okay. So 20% or 40%, which is 8% of our total,
right,
is commercial vehicle. Construction equipment.
Construction equipment. Right. Okay.
But it is going to grow very fast, because you see all the material handling equipment that's being used in construction is converting to electric, and they're all using our product.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So that was my next question, right? So the construction equipment space seems to naturally follow what happens in the passenger car space and the commercial vehicle space, the on-road commercial vehicle space. So as far as electrification is concerned, where are we in the CE space in India, and how do you see this trend moving forward?
So you have to understand that in the CE space, it matters what is the total purview of any construction equipment vehicle. Okay. So if the total purview of a vehicle is very limited, then it is easily electrified, right? Which is why all the industrial material handling equipment is very limited, right? It moves within a plant, easy to plug it in. So it's going to be 100% electrified. Okay, it's happening globally. It's happening in India also. Mining. Okay, mining is why it is important for mining to become electric. Because first of all, the vehicles go inside, deep inside the mines. They exhume a lot of fumes, which is very dangerous for the miners, right? We don't want that. And mines also, they need a lot of power, okay, to go up and down deep into the. So besides power, they need acceleration power. Electrification is perfectly suited, right? They don't emit anything. So, and as long as they're operating, sometimes it's difficult because you have to operate 22 hours. It's not possible, right? If you're operating say 16 hours and you charge for 6 hours, it's possible. So if we can have some sort of a balance there, mining is a very good. Now I was talking to somebody about ports equipment also. In ports, there are different types of equipment. Okay, some equipment is very suited to electrification, some is not. What is suited to electrification is something that moves within a limited area and doesn't need to work again 24 hours. But in ports, some of these cranes and all, they work 24 hours, so you can't make them electric. You have to charge them at some point, unless they are dynamically charged, which is you can't keep charging your phone and talking all the time. Similarly, you can't do that. So I talked about ports, I talked about mining, I talked about material handling. Now, in terms of road construction, heavy vehicles are unlikely to go electric. Okay? Commercial vehicles, they'll probably go to hydrogenized with a hydrogen fuel tank and ice. The small commercial vehicles, the last mile mobility, is going to 100% become electric, and that is probably, you say it's related to construction, not maybe. The cement mixers, you see them on the road all the time with a rotating, right? They have a very limited span. Now, they could go electric potentially. So like that, we are looking, every company is looking at what application can be made electric. They are doing risk analysis, benefits analysis, and then deciding whether it makes sense or not.
Right. A follow-up question on the electrification side. So it's clearly a very, very important move from a technology point of view, both for on-road and off-road, as you very interestingly indicated. For Dana as a company, as a solution provider, as a supplier, what % of your sales, a business, do you think will come from the electric side? Can you give it a percentage right now? And moving ahead, let's say 5-6 years or even 10 years down the line, how do you see this whole thing shifting?
So today, globally, for Dana, electrification sales account for about 5 to 6% of our revenues. By 2026, I think they'll rise to 15 to 20% potentially. Simply because we are investing a lot of money in electrification. We have built 6 plants around the world. We have over 500 people in the US, over 200 in Canada. In India, we are building a strength, very high strength of 100 plus. In Europe, in Italy, as well as in the UK, we have, and Germany. So a lot of focus is being put both on the development engineering side as well as manufacturing.
How does it mirror in India in particular?
In India, I would say today we are again 5%, kind of reflecting the global picture. In 2 years' time, we will be 20%.
Yeah, that is a very interesting number.
Yes.
Very interesting number.
Because it's being driven by the bus segment mainly. So each bus, accounts for a large revenue.
And I think city buses are almost completely moving to electric, given the operation.
And I would say more than 90% of the buses have our products. So
your product,
more than 90%.
Right. Phenomenal. Right.
We try to make it 100, but it's difficult.
Right. Another thing I want to understand, Dana is a global company, and a very interesting trend that we're seeing is global companies setting up manufacturing and development base in India for the whole world, right? Where does Dana stand in this regard?
Dana is a large, most important part of our Dana's global sourcing strategy. Dana India facilities export 40% of our product to Dana globally, and also other customers. Apart from that, equivalent amount is exported by our suppliers directly to Dana. Okay. So I would say, if you want to, if you look at in excess of $700 to $800 is exported out of India, to the world, Dana world, and to our customers out of India. So India is a very important supply base for Dana. We've been here for last 50 years. We continue to grow. We have over 16, 18 plants now. And most importantly, we are with every local customer. We are selling globally from here. And we have a fairly robust business in India.
Right. Before I go to the last question, any other trends that you see? Electrification, we understand, is at the heart of whatever is happening in our industry. Any other particular trend that you're seeing where Dana has a relevance or something to offer?
The one big trend we are seeing, as Mr. Gadkari has said yesterday also, is this sudden infusions by the government of regulatory changes,
Right.
which are great for the supplier base and but very difficult for the OEMs. So when they change the GVWR, for example,
overnight.
It affected those who are supplying just products that just meet the specs. Because if your axle is designed for say 10,000 newtons, and then suddenly you put 15,000 on it, it's going to break. Whereas our products are very safe even up to that level, and they are proven, right? So for us, these are good things, right? Things that government does from a PLI sort of schemes, if they extend the FAME scheme, it will be a major benefit for everybody. The cabin requirement that's coming up in October 2025, it's going to be a big plus. I was telling somebody, if you multiply 2 lakh rupees roughly by 400,000, so 2 lakh multiplied by 4 lakh is the revenue that will be generated, right? Apart from all the number of jobs. Right. So one statement leads to so much investment, so much generation of revenue, so many jobs. So I think that trend, if it continues, will continue to keep our GDP growing. And so that's from a government initiative point of view. The other trend is the fact that global companies are now very clear that they cannot do without India, right? 100%. Especially after the China issue that happened 2-3 years back, they are very clear that India has to be one of the key players, right? So you're seeing a rush of companies coming to invest in India, setting up their technology centers, putting up testing and validation centers. So that is another trend that's happening. The third trend that's not good for us is this is all putting a big stress on the good people, right? Which means every good person is being pulled into 17 different directions. So turnover or retention is becoming a problem. That will over time get corrected or will get stabilized. But for now, it's difficult to find people in electrification, for example. Every person is getting 4 or 5 jobs. Right. And, so again, supply demand, once the supply grows, it will stabilize, in terms of price.
A very interesting observation, I would say. A very diverse range of observations, I would say. Yeah, right. Let's wind it up with an outlook. So, of course, we are all seeing the India growth story, as you mentioned. I think globally, India is probably in a very, very bright spot right now. A lot of positive sentiment here. So the India growth story is going to continue, which is going to be reflected in the commercial vehicle and the construction space as well. So medium to long term, what kind of growth is Dana expecting, for your business?
See, I don't, sometimes growth is a illusory thing, okay? It's what you believe that you want to be, right? Like 5 years back, I had said we're going to triple our business, or it happened in 4 years. Okay, now why did it happen, right? It's not because we waited for the growth to happen. You can initiate growth, you can infuse growth, or you can go along, it's like going in a river. You are rafting, you can raft along the speed of the river, or you can speed up, or you can go against the tide and you can slow down. True. So I think growth is like going in a river. Use the force of the river to take you down or fast, but then put your own force to take you faster, right? Or put a motor on the boat, take you even faster. So you can do acquisitions, you can do mergers, you can do JVs, you can do all kinds of things to infuse growth. So I believe that growth is something that is in your hands. Of course, you have to be supported by a company through capital investments or funds for acquisition and things like that. But I don't believe that I can just say I am going to grow 5% because the country is going to grow 5%. I can grow 50 when the country is going 5, or I can go negative 10 when the country is going 50. It all depends on how we focus on our product quality, our delivery, our cost, our customer relationships, our technological expertise. All these things matter, and our management. Okay, and keeping our employees wanting to work for Dana.
I'm going to have a follow-up question with that answer. How important do you think is collaboration for achieving this growth? You mentioned about M&As, but of course M&A is one route, collaboration could be another way. Do you see that happening on the
When
Dana
you say
side?
collaboration at our joint ventures,
Could be anything. Could be M&A.
So we have multiple joint ventures in India. We have one with the Anand Group where we have 75%, and it's a fairly well-performing organization. We have one with the TVS Wheels India Group, which is called Axles India Limited, which is doing very well. We have one with the Giant Group, which is into power technology. We have the Dana TM4 Group, JV. It's all wholly managed by Dana, but it's still a JV. Apart from this, we have a lot of strategic alliances where we work with suppliers or customers where we ensure that we have a long-term agreement to supply or to buy with companies like Bharat Forge, RKFL, and Nelcast and so many more. And many of these companies have benefited from the alliance with Dana globally.